strike itself was taking its toll of the people who were out of work. They were doing without food, and the welfare systems were not able to cope with it, the situation. And so we knew that we had to do something drastic. And Chevrolet Plant 4 in Flint, Michigan produced all of the motors for the low-priced Chevrolet car across the whole nation. And we knew if we could tie up that plant, that would tie up General Motors. But nobody knew quite how to go about it because it's a huge plant, a very great structure, 8,000 people in this one structure. Now, all the way over on the outer side of the complex was a Plant 9, and this produced bearings. We let it be leaked out that Plant 9 was the secret plant, and a stool pigeon went back and told the corporation. Consequently, when the men did sit down on Plant 9, all of the company police from all the other aspects of this compound rushed into Plant 9. The city police were there, and the women, of course. The women were told Plant 9 was the plant, too, except I happened to know my husband was trying his best to shut down the big plant.
The women are all on one side of the street. Police are down the middle. The men are on the opposite side of the street, but the police had their guns aimed at the men. But all at once, Ed Clacy broke out a window, and he was blood all over, and he hollered, "They're gassing us." And about that time, the women went into action, breaking the windows.
Our men was in there, and we didn't want them tear gas.
Now, naturally, those men could not survive in there. As the ambulance pulled up and pulled out the injured ones, the strike was lost. I sent the brigade back to the Pengelly building, the Union Sound car, and the men went back to the Pengelly building. And I just said, let's saunter around to my 5 lieutenants, and then I told them once we started walking down there, I said, for God's sake, the real action is in Plant 4. One of the lieutenants we sent for the telephone, called Pengelly building at once.
They said, okay, they're having trouble. Down to Plant 4, get down there.
When we got to the gate, the men were having a very difficult time. One or two of the men, some of the Union men, looked out and said, for God's sake, guard that gate, let no one through there. So by the time we were down here in front, we saw the city police coming, the whole squad of them. We strung ourselves across that gate, and we hung, yes, we grabbed a hold of each other like that, and really we were a little bit scared at first, I can't deny it. And we just stood there, and they said, out of the way, we're going in. And we said, over our dead bodies, you're going in. And we were able to talk to them and get them to procrastinate long enough, because again, they didn't want to club us. And we started talking to them, remember, if your wife was out here. Yeah.
We said, what if you had a brother in there or a husband in there? Wouldn't you try to protect them? And we kept talking back and forth, one and then the other. Well, I got a brother. I had nobody, but I didn't let them know it. We kept talking back and forth until we stalled for time. That's right. Then all at once we heard solidarity and looked up, and here comes all these women and men down the street singing at the top of their voice.
And I said, formation picket line in a circle, God. And we were thrilled. We just felt like we had saved the situation.